and welcome to our podcast, Welcome to Livingston. My name is Don Putkela.
And I'm Angela Putkela, and we're with the Putkela group at Keller Williams.
Yeah, and we are just so happy that you guys are chosen to join us today. And I want to take a moment to introduce our guest today. We are really excited today to have a little bit different of a podcast that we're just so excited to be talking to Lansing Community College. And we have Barb, Carrie, and Rebecca with us today. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So, I wanted to just get started today. I mean, obviously people know what Lansing Community College is, but I wanted to have you guys introduce it a little bit and then talk a little bit about, having you in since, it's Lansing Community College, but we're here in
part of the county, yeah.
Part of the county, yes.
So the Livingston County Center has been, we've been part of the community for over 30 years. We found out last week that we signed our first lease with Howell Public Schools in 1988.
Wow.
So we are located at the Parker Middle School facility in Howell off of D19. It's a beautiful facility. We occupy 2 floors of one of the wings, and we have 17 classrooms. We have 2 computer labs, an anatomy and physiology lab, a medical assistant lab, environmental science. So it's a beautiful facility with lots of general classrooms and state-of-the-art technology, especially during COVID, to accommodate students who can't come in.
Wow.
Great facility.
No, it is. It's really, we have some students over there
too.
at Parker, and it's such a convenient location. And I know every time we go over there, I see, older students getting out of their cars, even high school students, to head over into there. And it's just such a valuable resource to have so close at hand. So that is a wonderful thing.
Wonderful. How many campuses do you guys have?
So we have our main campus, which is in downtown Lansing, 2 blocks from the Capitol. We have West Campus, which is our technical campus, which is just south of main campus. Our East Campus is located in East Lansing, and then the Livingston County Center is the furthest East Campus Extension Center.
Wonderful.
So at the West Campus, Carrie Bonofiglio works there. One of the departments that we have is the Business and Community Institute, and they specialize in corporate training. And Carrie is bringing that out to Livingston County.
Oh, awesome. Carrie, can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. So the Business and Community Institute, we also call the BCI. That's where we offer customized training, consulting, and we do coaching for businesses. All businesses, small and large. So it's everything from healthcare, development like human resource areas, professional development, IT, skilled trades.
Wow, that'll be a great resource. Now, when will that be up and running?
Well, actually, we are in, I think we work with Tri-Bar is one of the companies. We work with some skilled trades and Thai Summit. We also are with Thai Summit. Okay. So we are in the county, but we're just, I don't think a lot of people know about us, and so that's why we're here.
Great
but
way to
we
get the
really
word out.
expand out here as well, and we know there's some great businesses, and training is something to invest into your employees. There's a lot of reasons that companies want to do training. I'm sure their workforce is changing, and it's happening a lot. So we do a lot of different trainings to help.
Yeah, and I think that's a great value in this day and age. So many people you hear about making career changes or leaving and so forth, that for these companies, investing in your people, I think is such a powerful opportunity in terms of just the retention.
Especially in this day and age where it's so hard to get people to stay with you. Everybody's hiring. So if you're pouring into your employees and getting them in there for that retraining to heighten their skills, it helps them out. It helps you out. Right. It's just a great opportunity.
I feel like for small business, they just, they're working so hard at what they do. They don't even know the first thing to do with training. So by contacting you, you'd be able to maybe find some good options and opportunities for them?
Absolutely. Really, there's almost nothing that we don't train on. We've trained, and I've actually been with LCC for a short period of time. So, but in my short period of time, I've seen healthcare related. We work with Dean Transportation. I don't know if you're familiar with Dean Transportation. They're in 45 locations in Michigan. So we train, and it's customized to their needs, every single bus driver in healthcare, because a lot of their riders, their student riders, are disabled, and so they need to have that health care. It's called school bus health care.
Oh,
and
wow.
so and there's more than 2,000 employees with Dean Transportation. That's one of my accounts that I work with. And there's also things like there's a small construction company, and because of the times, they can't get a certain door. Like it takes, how things are taking forever to get.
Right.
And so they're creating the door there on site, but they don't know how to do the weld. And so we have an instructor going there to show them how to do the weld so that they can create these doors in a quicker time frame and also meet their clients' needs.
Excellent. That's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
Honestly, right here in our community.
Right. And, because a lot of small businesses, they probably say, well, I need training, but I don't know where to start. And to be able to come and sit down with you guys and get that in place. I never would have thought of that, of being able to say, well, we want to build the door, but we don't know how to do the welding.
I hadn't thought about it either. And, as far as we help with consulting with them, because there's also companies that it is a challenging time right now. And they're coming to us and saying, we have people leaving and we have new people coming, and their culture is shifting. And so we need some help with that. And so coaching with them on, teaching them how to work in teams and how to, be more productive in what they're doing. And so there's a lot of, attitudes, different, personalities, how you work with different personalities. So there's those type of trainings as well.
Wow. A lot to be learned. You can always learn, right? Coming from that education based.
Yeah. And this is the non-credit side. It's the professional development side of it. But we have a vast amount of instructors too. And what's great about the instructors, I had the opportunity to talk with them, that they not only have the knowledge, but they have the passion and they have the experience, the practical side. So they've worked in the areas that they're training. And so it's just exciting. And again, these times they're doing a lot of online delivery too. We customize the delivery as well. So they learn not only the content, but how to deliver it so it's engaging. And, there's
Fantastic.
just so much to learn about that too.
Right. Well, and I assume now with, the past year and a half, 2 years, and then how fast technology is moving, being able to offer all those different platforms is so important. I was on your guys' website, and one of the things I noticed is you have so many different avenues, so many different programs that you guys are into and such. What are some of those top programs that people are contacting you guys for, or that you as a college you're pouring into?
Well, at our specific centers, 70% of the students who take classes at our facility are transfer students. They want that, small classroom atmosphere, the one-on-one attention that we offer, the experience of getting to know the faculty well. And so they'll start with us, and of course the cost savings. They start with LCC.
Right.
And it because it is a great place to start. So because there are so many transfer students, we offer general education classes for the most part. They're the math, sociology, psychology, humanities, speech type classes. But we also have a healthcare focus because with the healthcare facilities in the area, we are really hoping to create a health hub. And with that, Rebecca is here today to share some amazing information about a one-of-a-kind program that we offer to high school students. And it's our early college nursing program.
That'd be great. Yeah, Rebecca, tell us more about that.
So I'm with the Livingston Educational Service Agency, LESA, and we have several different early college programs, and the one we partner with LCC is the nursing program, and we also have a medical assistant program. So it's fantastic for our students because it's right here in Howell. They don't have to drive to main campus. The students start in 11th grade. They take their health occupation class in 11th grade at their high school or one of the high schools that teach it in the county. And then in 12th grade, they start taking their general education classes, so anatomy, physiology, and then they meet the requirements that LCC has set up for their nursing program, and they are in the nursing program. It is the only one like it in the state. So the students leave their 13th year admitted into the nursing program. They have a few semesters left because the nursing program is not a 2-year program. It is what do they call it? An extended degree. And so they do have a few 2 semesters that they have to finish on their own, but they do not compete for seats into the nursing program. They're admitted. But the best part is your school district pays for your tuition and books. So it is zero cost to the student. And that is a savings of over $22,000 to the student.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. That is fantastic. What an opportunity here for our local students that I'm sure not enough people know about that, right?
No, they do not. Not enough students take advantage of that. Our medical assistant program is new this year. So along with the medical assistant, they also get trained in phlebotomy and EKG. So they can leave early college and have 3 different opportunities, right, Barb? 3 different opportunities, and they can go right to work in the community.
Wow, that is so amazing because, talking to people that are going into nursing, I mean, so often not being in that field, you hear, oh, I'm on a waiting list. Oh, I can't get in here. Oh, it's 4 years and maybe I'll be able to get in. Mm-hmm. To be able to start that in high school and be so far ahead on the path is just an amazing opportunity, and right here at home too. So
yes, my kids that are graduating, it is a 13th year program, which scares some kids. Mm-hmm. So in your 13th year, you're essentially a college sophomore by that point. So you're not going back to your high school. It's not like you're a high school student. But you're with me, so I'm the coordinator of the program, the counselor. I work really closely with Barb, and we keep track on all the kids. But my students that are graduating this year will have their RN degree by the time they're 20, we figured out. 20 years old, and they will have their degree. So that's huge.
Yeah. It's, in terms of kids in video games today, maybe because we have kids too, it's like, that's like a professional power-up. Right?
Yes.
Somebody hit some button for something.
Right.
And in life, it feels like there's roadblocks more often than not. There's things that require you to wait or, mired up in red tape. And it's so rare for young people to have a viable career that they can enjoy, that they can earn a living wage on, that will be rewarding for them. And here, the opportunity of not having to be saddled with the financial part of it, but B, to save the time, which with us as adults, we have a greater value for maybe than some kids of how much that means.
So. We try and get the word out about how much that means because not only do they have the cost savings and they're ahead, they also have, we call them wraparound services. So there are so many services to our kids. Like if they need a tutor and it doesn't work with LCC's tutor, I can get them a tutor. I check in with them. We have a college readiness seminar class that we run in the summer that they have to attend because it's a big step to go from high school to college early. So we have a college readiness seminar in the summer to make sure that they're prepared. And then I check in with them monthly. I know my students very well. I know it's fun to go out in the community and see where they work and what they're doing, and it's a great opportunity. We also have other programs, so if anyone would be interested, I can give you my website at the end. Yeah. But but I want to stress also, it's not. I don't look at test scores. It's not for the 4.0 top of the line student. It's for the student who really wants it, who's going to work hard and show up.
Right. Yeah. Because I was going to ask about that for the high school students that might be listening or the parents that have kids going into high school. What are the qualifications to get in? Because a lot of times that's the first thing they're looking at of, am I getting good enough grades or what hoops do I have to jump through? Unfortunately, when you talk to 15, 16, 17-year-olds, if there's too many hoops, sometimes they don't even think about it. So
Right. So I don't look at test scores. I don't look at GPAs. I want to know, are you on track for graduation? Do you show up to school? Do you work hard? Is this something that you want to go into? And then it's by counselor recommendation at their high school. So, it's not a good indicator if I just looked at test scores and GPAs, because 99% of my kids have higher college GPAs than they do in high school, and they're harder classes. So
Right.
the nursing program is very hard, and to do it early is quite an accomplishment for these young people that have completed.
How many students are in the program?
So this year, in the 13th year, I have 22 nursing students. And our first cohort, we graduated 2 years ago. We had 10. That was the very first year of the program. So we have to start somewhere. Last year, I graduated 15 nursing students. And in 12th grade, we have 13 nursing students now.
Wow.
So I have more, just in different programs. So these are the programs with LCC.
And I really want to emphasize those wraparound services. We work very hard to support these students. Think of being in a nursing program, doing clinicals during COVID.
Oh my!
So it's very challenging.
Right.
We had students come in today to take a test, and it was the first time they've had an in-person test since they started their program.
Wow.
Because it moved online because it had to because of COVID. We call the students weekly. We check on them because it's more than the academics. It's how can we support you? Are you doing okay? Just giving them the extra resources they need during such a stressful time.
Right. That personal connection. That
Critical.
not a lot of universities or colleges offer.
Right. And I know in the last 10 years or so that dual enrollment has become a really big thing for kids in high school, to be able to go out and take some college classes while they're still going to high school. And part of that being, the independence of it and look what I can do. But then at the same time, there's a big cost savings to parents. How prevalent is in the local high schools that dual enrollment that people are coming out to you guys?
We work with dual enrollment students all the time. I was told recently that we would see an increase in dual enrollment because the alternative for students typically is AP tests or AP classes.
Right.
And the students are really challenged by the instability of, are we going online? Are we in person? And so taking an AP class, they don't know through the course of the academic year, what is that class going to actually look like? So we have seen an increase in the number of dual enrollment students who are coming to us to take a class for a semester, because that's a little more predictable.
Right.
And as you mentioned earlier, so many different formats. They can take it online, they can take it in person, they can take it hybrid, which is half face-to-face, half online. And we have something called ORT, online real-time. So it's essentially WebEx. And so you can see your instructor and all the students in the class. You're just not physically there. So there are many different formats. And so a lot of dual enrollment students like just the ability to choose the format that works the best for them. But we have them work closely with an academic advisor to make sure that course will transfer for what it is that they are
That's
eventually.
one of the things we wondered about, since how many of the students end up transferring? You said about 70?
70% transfer. And so we have academic advising on site. That's one of the services that we offer in addition to admissions and tutoring assistance. The other service is every student is assigned a success coach. So it's somebody who follows them through the duration of the time that they're at LCC to provide resources and support.
Like that. Success coach.
Success coach.
I think
It's
we all need
wonderful.
one.
Time management, stress management, whatever other resources that you need. So it supports those students well, and those dual enrollment students also really appreciate the extra support.
And I assume a lot of those, when they go on to a 4-year school, I mean, you're setting them up for success, where if they just go right to a huge university, you talked at the beginning about the small classes. I mean, both me and Angela graduated from state. I remember 700 kids in a classroom. Sometimes, I had small ones, but the vast majority of my classes were 100, 150 kids. So it's just such a nice way to lead them in and to give them that support, so they're not I've talked to people
out on an island, right?
Yeah, out on an island, or I took a bunch of classes, but I wasted a bunch of money because none of the classes go to what I eventually wanted to get into.
Hear that a lot.
So the academic advisors work closely with all students, dual enrollment and all students, just depending on what their goals are. But there's something called the Michigan Transfer Agreement, and so they work with students who are transferring to 4-year schools. Those are the general education courses that you have to take no matter what your program is. And a lot of students who are coming to us are undecided. They're not really sure what they want to do. but you still need those general education courses.
True.
So it's a great place to take those courses at a reduced rate. And with dual enrollment, the school districts assist with the costs. So just like with the early college program, the students get the added benefit of not having the cost of the education.
Wow.
And how many students are taking advantage of that on any given year, approximately?
Dual enrollment students?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Generally, we were between 25 and 30 students. I don't know what we are now, just because a lot of the students have moved online, so it's harder to capture what those Livingston County numbers would be. But we work closely with the high school counselors to make sure that this is seamless for the students, because it has to work for what they need.
Yes.
Right.
Very important to us.
Yep.
We are all about serving the students. It's very important to us that we are warm and friendly and provide that customer service. It's more than just greeting them when they come in. We have to help get them what they need. We have students that will come in and say, I need a pencil, or and it's just those transactional type things. But it's more important to build the relationships. We've had students come in and once they get to know you, they'll tell you things that might be impeding their education, like, I haven't eaten in a couple of days, or I'm homeless and I don't have anybody that I can tell that to. So education is about somebody's life. It's not just about coming in and taking a class. So it's an awesome responsibility for us. Every day when we go in, we remember that. And it's all about, one day we had a student who hadn't eaten, the next day we had a food pantry, because that's what you do if you really are all about student success.
It's about community.
Yes.
It is. It is all about community.
Well, and I used, before I was in real estate, I was a high school teacher, and I taught alternative ed. So I know a lot of my students ended up going to community college and were able to get into programs. But one of the great things is, before I had them in class or talking to them or talking to counselors, they thought there was a much larger barrier to entry to have that opportunity. And it's just so wonderful to have this right here in the community, to know that Lansing Community College has so many different programs that they're able to get into. They're able to come out of it with a job, because a lot of times they don't think that that's, maybe they come from a family where no one went to college, or they're having trouble at home, and they don't think that opportunity is open to them. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, I just commend all three of you on the work that you do with that.
Thank you. And we do take students from where they are. So when students come in, community colleges are open enrollment institutions. So you don't have to have a minimum GPA to come to us. You can come, and even if you don't know what you want to do, and we can help evaluate what was your high school experience like, and we can help with placement tests, but we can help everybody start from wherever they are.
Right.
Great. No, just so positive. And I think important to get the word out. So I'm excited that we're having you guys here today, and feel free to share and promote as well. This is really great, because this is allowing us to learn more about what's offered right here in the community.
So one thing I wanted to ask is, with the last 2 years with COVID and the pandemic and such, I know that in business, the online proponent has changed so much. And I think that in education as well, I would assume that, I don't want to say, one of the positives is that online experience changed so quickly that it kind of pushed past that barrier that a lot of people thought, I can't do online. But how has your students taken to that fully online experience?
I can tell you that the students who are in person this semester are very happy to be
right. I can only assume,
very
right?
Happy. So when we've asked them, what is your preference now, having experienced online and having experienced face-to-face, they will say that they are really uncertain what they want at this point, because it's a challenge. The uncertainty, are we going to shut down? Is it going to go online? They really want to be face-to-face. They really, I think, like the hybrid option. They like the face-to-face, but the flexibility that part of it's online.
Right.
That seems to be the preferred format at this point. We've also acquired some interesting technology. It's called lecture capture. And so it allows a faculty member to be teaching a class, and we can hook up to a WebEx or a Zoom link. And if a student can't come in because they're in quarantine, they can join the class through this WebEx link, and they're at the front of the room as part of the class. They can raise their hand, instructor can call on them.
Wow.
We've even used it for anatomy labs. So when an instructor is doing an anatomy lab and a dissection, she can have this, and the student can obviously experience it. the best that they can
Right.
without being in person.
Okay.
But we're trying to increase the technology to really accommodate everybody's needs.
Wow.
So it's really not just the young and the students that are learning to be adaptable. Maybe it's all of us, right?
And the faculty who are struggling as much as the students
Right.
sometimes.
Right.
They love the in-person.
So in the nursing program, how did you adjust? Because I assume that you guys are learning to draw blood and you're doing all of those things as part of the program. How did that change through COVID? How are you guys able to adjust to that?
So I will let Barb speak to that because I'm the coordinator, so I don't teach the nursing classes.
Right.
But they did online labs and online clinicals. The students are very happy to be back in person
Yeah.
Right.
doing clinicals.
And in some instances, they reduced the seat limits.
Got you.
So they could distance.
Right.
And it was just a safer
They
environment.
did simulations, right? Like they have mannequins that can, isn't that what you call them, mannequins? That can simulate a stomach pain or a heart pain. And can't the instructor then put in, like, okay, well, you checked the stomach pain, but then give it a heart pain, give the mannequin a heart pain. So
Wow.
they
It's all
have to-
computerized.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it can have a fever. It can say I'm not feeling well. It's very advanced technology.
Wow.
Gosh, all these things I didn't even know. But I guess for these programs, they really needed to find a way to still teach and make sure that the students are learning what they needed to.
Well, what I'm hearing is a lot of those programs, I mean, I assume they're coming out of it so much stronger because now there's all these different options and it's the way those, meet together that make it even that much better an experience for both the teacher and the student. So it's just fascinating to hear about.
And as we're talking about online, tutoring is available online. Now there are personal rooms that faculty have that students can join for tutoring. And that's been a big asset too. So students who might in person be a little more hesitant about going up to their instructor saying, I need tutoring. They might be a little hesitant. They can jump in a personal room, a tutoring room, and get assistance. And they've seen a big jump in the
Wow.
number of
Fantastic
students
stuff.
taking advantage.
Especially if a student maybe only has a question or two, and probably is very easy just to be able to do that then.
I think it all comes down to building relationships.
Oh, yes. Yep. No, I definitely
And
think
that's
so.
every field, since we're realtors, that's one of the things we fall back on. It's, those relationships with people, that whether it's education or even next week's episode is going to be a bridal salon. And so it's all about those people-to-people connections and building that relationship because that personalizes the experience. Everybody doesn't want to feel like, one size fits all.
Yep.
These are important things. Your education is your own. It helps build your identity.
It's transformational.
So it's
Yep.
the challenge for you guys. How do you customize it for each and every student?
Right. But
Absolutely.
Or not even, business training too.
Well, and I find that, as realtors with people coming in the community, so often people that are having families, parents and such, they don't know what options are out there. Or businesses, a small business, they don't know what options are out there there's a vast array of things to look at, and having that resource to come in and say, okay, I need training, or I'm in high school and I don't know exactly what I want to do, but I want to get started now. And I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, we have a 16-year-old at home, and it's always a conversation of, where are you going? What path are you going towards college? Trying to talk about different options and such. But for those people that are starting out early, get those general ed credits out of the way. I mean, you don't have to decide your major today. You can get started.
Well, and if somebody wants to get involved and start here in the fall, what steps should they be taking now, and when should they take them?
So the earlier the better, but they can go to LCC.edu, which is our website. If they specifically want to go to Livingston, it's LCC.edu/livcen. And there we'll have our hours because anybody can walk in and we'll help them get started, and our class schedule is there. But if they go and fill out an application, it's free to apply. And then we'll evaluate where they are in terms of their placement levels. So again, we're open enrollment, so we won't ask for high school transcript. But if you want to take an anatomy class, then we're going to be looking for a reading and writing and a math level. So we may be able to get that from your high school transcript, or you might have to take placement tests, and we do proctor those tests, which are free at our center in Howell. And so that's where they would get started. And then we recommend that they see an academic advisor, because again, we want this experience to be seamless. We want these classes to work for whatever their needs are. So that would be the next step. And then we also assist connecting them with financial aid, which is a big piece of it, and scholarships. LCC has amazing scholarships. So we connect the students in that realm, and then they are connected with a success coach. So we are there to help support all through the process and offer as many services as we can in Howell to help them.
Okay. Wonderful. And I assume for the nursing program, they contact as early as possible. Is that only in the fall that they can get in, or is there?
So for the early college nursing program, they need to let their high school counselor know that they're interested at the end of 10th grade when they're signing up for their 11th grade classes, so that they can take health occupation. So they want to, sometimes those classes fill up. Those are popular classes. So you need to let your counselor know that you're interested in early college and sign up for the health occupation class. I do go in and talk to all the health occupation classes in September and let everybody know about the early college nursing program. And then they can sign up then as well. So in the spring of your 10th grade year or the fall, by September 30th of your 11th grade year, they have to be coded in the state system. So,
Gotcha. Okay.
And if you want to look at our other early college programs, our website is lcearlycollege.org.
Wonderful.
Fantastic. Are there any other top programs there that we haven't mentioned just yet?
Oh yes, we have a lot. We have we have a welding program. We have it's a certificate program that the students can earn. We have 3 auto programs. We have a powertrain technician, a test technician, and a service technician, and you can earn an associate degree. So you can leave your 13th year with an associate degree.
That's great.
I know.
Yeah.
We have a cybersecurity program, and it's an associate degree program. We have a business management and a data analytic program, and we have a mechatronics robotics program.
Wow.
So all of our early college programs are customized. So if you want to earn a certificate or you want to look or go towards the associate degree, you can. But if you're a student who doesn't want to take 12 or 15 credit hours, then we can just back off the classes, and there might be a few that you would have to finish after your 13th year. So I really work with the students to see what their goal is, what they want to do, and make sure that they're successful. Make sure it's not something that is overwhelming for them.
Right. But then here they can pick a field of study that they have interest in, that they can get a great wage and really develop a career.
We also have our students do an internship between year 12 and year 13. That way they're 18. So, most, if they're in a manufacturing facility, that they can do the work once they're 18. So they have internships. We do resume writing. We do mock interviewing. There's a lot
Wow.
of students. Mm-hmm.
Which, those are all skills that are just so critical to have. So, my goodness.
And then having that internship, gives them a hands-on idea of, like, I thought I liked this. I like the classes. Do I like the job now? Do I like the career? So again, having those experiences early, now let's say someone wanted to change course. They're only 18, 19 when they're changing course. They're not, hey, I'm 25 now and I didn't do it.
Right. Yeah.
So not that there's not that experience at that, because I know a lot of people are coming back to get trained in different things, such as for your position, for the career, or for the businesses coming in getting training, that they're giving those opportunities to say, hey, I want to do something else now.
But it almost feels like, I feel bad for these kids today that are in high school, because it's almost like they're expected to know what they want to do for the rest of their lives. And some of these big universities with these big price tags, and the kids go and they're just lost. And, to know that try something out. If it doesn't work, then that's okay.
I always tell my students and my own kids and their friends, it's just as important to know what you don't like as what you do like. So everything in high school is free. So try it. It's only costing you your time. Take all the classes that are out there, take all the career and tech ed classes you can, and you say, well, I didn't like that. Okay, so now you pick a different path, and
allowed you to rule it out.
Yes. So.
Yep, I love that.
Process of elimination.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No doubt. Well, I know that we're winding down. One of the questions I love to ask, though, is, we have such this focus on Livingston County, and wondered, what's your favorite part of Livingston for each of you?
I have to say, people in Livingston County value education. It's very important to them. And it's just a great place to be. I mean, we have great relationships. I mean, Rebecca talked about the different partners that they have, or talked about the different CTE programs. All the post-secondary partners have worked well together through the years. It's a very collaborative county, so I love it. I'm going on 25 years in April here. I love it here.
Wow.
So I've been here 17 years, and I live in Livingston County. I taught here, and now I'm the early college coordinator, and my kids go to school here. It's a great place to live, raise your family, education. We have, I tell people outside of the county, we have the best career and tech ed programs for our students. Most counties don't have nearly what we have to offer for our students. So it's a great place to try things, try it before you buy it, kind of a thing.
Right.
Right.
So,
So I'm going to kind of duplicate what Barb said. It's, really the partnerships, the people. I've worked in this area for 30 years, but I've been out of it for a couple years. I've been away from Livingston County, and this job has brought me, and I'm drawn to come.
You've missed it.
Yeah, and I've missed it, and I have these relationships that I really want, and to reach out to people and them embrace, what my new position is and what I'm doing has really been great. From the chambers to Michigan Works. We work with Michigan Works on partnering with them to find funding for these businesses that want to do training too. So that's something that I can talk about and introduce businesses to Michigan Works as well. So those partnerships, and it's just an easy community to be involved in. It's
right. Wonderful. Yes. I love everybody has a different answer to that question, by the way. There's so many great things about our community because it truly is a community.
It's a good question.
Not sure.
Is there anything that
we haven't touched on that you guys wanted to?
I wouldn't mind saying one of the things that I'm trying to introduce is an open enrollment, and I'm going to have it at the Parker campus, and it's going to be for emerging leaders. And so, it'll be a 2-day, 4 sessions. I already had the instructor selected. Barb actually recommended him. He is just a lot of enthusiasm. He's excited about coming here. So open enrollment, meaning that a small business could send one person, a larger business might send 2 people that might come in and learn a little bit about what it is to be a leader and how to motivate employees and how to have those tough conversations, all the different things that being a leader means and what that journey is.
Wonderful. And if some businesses wanted to find out more about that, how could they get more information?
So they can just contact me, and I think you'll put some contact information on or LCC and BCI is the Business and Community Institute. So and I'll be getting that information out, and hopefully my friends at the chambers will help me promote that too.
Wonderful.
Excellent. Great. And is there any other, place for people to find out more about all of these LCC programs?
So LCC.edu/livcen is a way to get to me. And if I could add anything, it is that we're always looking for qualified faculty too. Most of our faculty are adjuncts. They're not full-time instructors, so they're working their jobs during the day and have always been maybe interested in teaching. So it's those types of people in a variety of areas. So they could reach out to me as well.
Wonderful.
Great. Well, fantastic. Well, thank you, ladies, for taking the time and for joining us today. We've learned a lot about your organization. I hope our listeners have also. And
so thank you so much. Please check us out on Facebook, Instagram. You can find our podcasts on Spotify, Apple, Sounder. Just Google Welcome to Livingston Podcast. So thank you so much for listening today. Please check out our other episodes, subscribe, and check out Lansing Community College. They are a wonderful organization with a lot of great opportunities for everybody. So,
excellent. Welcome to Livingston.